Okay, chapter 1, good versus bad lighting. And believe me, the customers notice the difference. And my goal is to get you in that spot, like I said, where you're looking at the footage going, man, I look good. And this is how. So what we're going to do first is cover some of the most common mistakes that I see made. This is my beautiful wife that you'll see acting as our model for what to do and what not to do. Let's jump right in. Okay, so first of all, this device, you don't need to know what it is, but you do need to know why it exists. So it was created to help film production studios and production people compare the light, the brightness, the actual brightness. When you walk outside, your eyes adjust automatically. Cameras don't do that. So what they're trying to do is figure out the brightness of maybe the background, the sky, and the person. And this is one of the same things you're going to want to focus on, is making sure that in your shot, the person you're filming is about as bright as the background. And we'll talk a little bit about why that matters. So we're going to try to avoid shooting directly under overhead lighting, placing the subject in front of windows or doors where you get that silhouetted look, shooting under shaded areas, shooting with side lighting, which is really common, and shooting with the sun and the subject's eyes. So we're going to go over these things really quickly and just try to move through this chapter, because there really is just one right way to do it. And if you just focus on that, you don't need to worry so much about making these mistakes. So this is in front of windows. This is actually what happens when you put a customer or a person or someone you're filming underneath the shade, or even yourself, with the background being much brighter. The camera kind of has to pick between one of these two looks. Either you're normal and the background's too bright, or the background's normal and you're too dark, because you're separate brightnesses. So one of the things you want to focus on is just trying to make sure that you match your background. That's one of the most common mistakes. Shade usually provides really good lighting for your subject or for yourself. So sometimes what I do is hunt a dealership for an overhang or a side of the dealership. If a building's a square and it's 2 stories tall, it's cast in shade on one of those sides, right? So that's something to think about. Under overhead lighting is another really common mistake, because people, when they make videos, will head for a bright area in the dealership, but you'll see all the shadows underneath the eyelids here. If the area you're standing in is inherently bright, but the light's all on the ceiling, it's not going to make for a good lighted face, because it's going to put a lot of shadows underneath your eyes, underneath your nose, and it's not going to light your subject's face or your face very well. Another really common one is to stand with the sun directly in somebody's eyes, which obviously is going to light them pretty well, but it's going to give them this, oh my God, I can't see look on their face, which is never really that great for a video. If you'd like to if you have the option, you can wait until what's called, it's a little pro tip, the golden hours, which is basically a time when you walk outside, everything looks pleasant to the eye because your eyes adjusted. It's actually not nearly as bright as it is during a 1 p.m., 2 p.m. as it is at a 6 or 7, right when that sun's about to go down. And so it kind of casts like the opposite of shade. It's like lit shade, this nice warm glow, and everything looks good. If you can choose when to do your videos, that's a great time to choose. Here's another problem: having the subject stand with the sun off to one side. Now, whether it's the left side or the right side, you want to make a choice here about exactly how to orient yourself in the sun, or even just try to avoid shooting in this scenario altogether by following our one last tip here. So if you look in the top right, what I've actually had our model do here is just wander up to one of those big plate glass windows that's in every single dealership. It's a horizontal window, and what it does, it forces all the light to flow into into the frame horizontally. So now she's lit, if you look in the bottom right, essentially about like a makeup mirror would be. If you look at the top left, you can see me actually taking the picture of her, and you can see someone in the background there learning a thing or two up in the top left. But look how amazing that shot looks, and it's effortless. And you wouldn't think, walking into this dark corner in the top right, that this is how to achieve it. Every single dealership has either big plate glass doors or big windows. And if you wander up to that window and pull your phone out and put the phone against the glass and look back at yourself, you're going to find that you look almost perfect every single time. So that's really the hidden key between trying to get that perfect look, is to just find a horizontal direction of light that is controllable, wander up to it, and just play around, spin around a little bit, and you'll see that when you're in front of these windows, the lighting always looks great. If you look great, you're gonna like your videos, and your videos are gonna look great too. So that's the end of this chapter. Go have fun with great light, and I'll see you in chapter 2.